We have the 49th precinct here, obviously, so we do want the captain to go through real quick. Say what he needs to say. You hopefully ask only very few questions, and then he goes, because we have also Yankee recipients here that we're going to bring up to the stage.
All right, good evening, everybody. Great to be here, great to see everyone. Just want to get in a couple things real quick, a couple announcements. Just so everyone knows, tomorrow we are having the 49 Precinct Community Council breakfast at Maestro's at 9 o'clock. I hope to see many of you there. Also, just if for some reason, if you have a complaint or an issue and you don't feel comfortable addressing it on this level, we also have, at the end of every Tuesday during the month, we have a community council meeting where if you go onto our website, we change the location every month. We go to different neighborhoods throughout the 49 precinct, which you're more than welcome to come. Please, if you want to sit in and tell us what your complaints are, or tell us what a great job we're doing or what we're not doing, we'll be very receptive. We'll be more than happy to help you. And also, at another level, we have the NCO program. Every month we do have, each NCO has a build-a-block meeting where you can kind of, on a much more informal level, you can talk to your NCO individually and address any concerns or complaints. I just wanted to give a quick overview of crime in 49 precinct, just so everyone knows where we are. Year to date, we're showing a 7% reduction in crime. We've had 0 homicides for the year. We've had 2 shootings, and basically one of those shootings, it still cannot be determined whether or not it actually happened in 49, but the individual who was shot, he kind of gave us a bogus story, so that's what we have to go with. So as far as violent crimes are going in the 49 is doing very well. And for the last 4 weeks, we've shown a 10% reduction in crime. Again, if anyone wants me to go into anything specifically, I'll be more than happy to. But without taking up too much of your time, I thought we could open up the floor for questions, concerns, problems, or issues that anyone may have. Okay.
So,
I do.
Yes.
Jens, Lisa, Mike. It should be green.
It's not green.
Oh, no, I heard it. Oh.
Okay, well, it's red. It's red. It's not green. That's why I pressed it. Anyway, I probably should have reported this, but I just thought of it now that you asked, that there's been like a little uprising, I guess, of graffiti around the Morris Park, right by our office. So like Morris Park, Rhinelander, by St. Clair's, like there's pink graffiti on the, it's not even real graffiti, it's just like lines, I don't know. But bright pink lines in the parking lot of St. Clair's and also on the mailbox. And I saw it a couple other places, so.
Yeah, so he's new, that guy. So we don't have him identified yet, but he's hit in quite a few areas. So it's like 2 little squiggly lines, right? And then like followed by like maybe like script or whatever it is. It looks like it says free, but we're having a hard time figuring out what it is actually. But he's tagged a couple of mailboxes. So what we've done is we've documented every single spot that he's hit. So when we do finally find out who he is, he'll get charged with multiple locations. Because he's hit a couple spots on Leidig. He hit another mailbox on Leidig and Wallace. He hit on Leidig and Colden underneath the train station, the train tracks there. So he's been in a couple different spots. We're working to figure out who he is because he just popped up. I've never seen that tag before, and I've been here 5 years, so he's new though.
And then who reports it? Like, do we have to report it to the post office so that they can do the mailboxes? Like, how's that process? We do.
Mike's out.
Now it's green. It doesn't. Okay. It was red and it worked. Anyway, so my question was, what happens to get it painted over? Like particularly like the mailboxes. Is that something that we have to get in touch with the post office, or do you guys do it?
So after we do take a.
No, yours doesn't work. Nice.
Well, you gotta tell me.
Oh.
What you got here?
4.
Right?
Number 4. All right. So yeah, after we take the report, we actually have a contact at the post office, and we give them multiple locations at once. It's just a matter of when they get to that spot. They have like a list, and then they start checking ones off. And then unfortunately, what it seems to happen is after they clean it, another spot, it keeps popping up. We do our best to combat it. We have quite a few people that we know who they are and what their tags are. This guy's just right now a mystery, but we'll figure out who he is at some point.
Okay, go ahead, Edith.
To the NCO officers about this before, but we have a very, very serious condition on Kruger. And I know you're aware of it, but we have to do something about it. The fact that you can't touch her, and I understand that. If she doesn't want services, you can't give it her. However, she does her, whatever she does, right on the sidewalk. She's half naked, because I've gotten about 6 calls about this crazy lady that's walking around naked from the waist down. If you go in the coffee shop to have a cup of coffee and you're facing her, you throw up with your coffee. And I think it's really not nice for the children in our area that come back and forth from school to see this woman on the street. My suggestion is we pick her up and take her and put her in front of de Blasio's house.
Edith, I completely understand your frustration. We at times are frustrated with the way we have to operate, per se, but it's definitely something, you know, like you said, we're aware of it, and our NCO, Adam, is over there, and they have their eyes on it. Boy, I'm sorry. And what we'll do is we'll spend more time out there keeping eyes on her. So like I said, I think we had spoken about this before. When we do catch her committing a infraction, a violation, or a misdemeanor crime, then we can lock her up. And then what we can do is we can kind of, once we get it down to 161st Street, we can have certain services offered to her.
To put her into a place that she will be safe and that we're not subjected to this kind of thing on Pelham Parkway is the answer. Jail is not the answer for her.
Again, but there's only certain solutions that we have as a police department. There's other solutions that we will have to explore. If she has mental illness, we may have to look into getting a court order to get her removed from the street. No. Okay. Right, but of course it does take time, and there is a burdensome process that has to go through. But Sergeant Ryan's here. We'll get the NCOs plugged in more, and we'll see if we can get her removed from the street.
Okay. So we have other questions, if we don't mind. John Musto was first, then Sal Conforto, then Linda White, then Marcy Gross. So John,
Hi, Command. A growing thing that I've seen the last 2-3 months, noticed the last 2-3 months on, like right outside the doors of the CVS on Williamsbridge and Rylander, there's definitely 3 different people out there panhandling money, looking for money and stuff, but the problem really is you could definitely tell, and one is a known person in the area that does it under the influence of probably drugs, and they just hang out right outside the door asking for money, harassing people for money in and out. And they're basically strung out, sitting outside the door there, so just to make it aware of the situation. And I only noticed it about 2-3 months probably.
I know historically CVS has had a little bit of a problem with homeless or aggressive panhandlers outside approaching people going inside. Again, and this is an issue we have at times, is if there's certain laws that are in effect, and unless they are very aggressive with their panhandling, unfortunately they do have a right to stand there. I know it's not something that we want to see. We want to help them, reach out to them, but again, if they don't accept the outreach, it can be difficult at times to get them removed. But
Optic of being basically strung out, laying there right near the door. And,
absolutely, I agree. But it's definitely on our radar. We'll take a closer look at it.
Sal, microphone, so it's recorded. No, microphone. It won't be on the tape for us to hear if you don't do the microphone.
Yeah, just to revisit what Edith was saying to the captain. If you arrest her and tell the district attorney her behavior, they will probably sign an order, the judge will, to send her to Bellevue for a mental evaluation. Then there would be, she'd be mainstreamed in a place that she can get help. Thank you.
Sal, that's definitely something, when we do lock her up, we will definitely bring it to the attention of the district attorney.
Okay, Linda White.
Hi, Captain. Over here. I'm Linda White. I live in Van Ness. Sector Adam has had an outcropping of instant car washes. I'll put it that way. We have one on Melville Street on the side of the TA wall. They come with a van, or in this particular case, it's a car with all the accoutrements to do detailing and everything, and the cars either park on the sidewalk on the TA wall or right next to where they are in the lane, which is a problem because you know the downtown side we have a traffic problem down our way. There's also one at Rylander right outside of the, I think it's called Artesian Cars, where the car dealership is there. There's also, he has a van, and just where the yellow lines are, he's right there, and they either park behind him on the yellow lines or on the sidewalk. But I've seen these things, you know, cropping up, and it's not that you don't want people to have their business or whatever, but they're using the hydrants and whatever, and maybe we can do something about it.
Good.
So we have issued a couple of summonses in regard to that, because that's what it is, the summons for doing the car wash in the street. Now, the one you're talking about, is that the one on Morris Park? There's one right on Morris Park, closer down by TD 12, by the precinct that's a little further down there.
The bus stop on Melville Street in Morris Park. He's right there. And a lot of the guys working, the construction workers and the TA guys park up on the sidewalk during the day while they're doing work. So it's not, unless you look and you see him with the doors open and all the different things to do a car with, to clean a car and whatever. But he's right there every day, all day long.
Right. So yeah, we've issued that particular person a couple of tickets. We'll definitely stay on top of him and continue to speak to him and try and get him to. Honestly, it'll just be we can get him to relocate. He's probably not going to stop, but hopefully he'll go to somewhere else other than that location, and then we'll keep following him around.
Especially down, and it's bad enough with traffic the way it is now anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. We'll. Sector Adams definitely in tune to that, and they'll continue to reach out to him. And I mean, we don't like to hit them with summonses. I mean, they are just trying to make a living, however paltry a living it might be. It is what they do to make a living. So we don't like to kind of dissuade them from that, but it is a quality of life thing, and we have issued them tickets, but we try and work with them on more of a reasonable level. Like, hey, listen, like, you can't be doing it here. You got to move on. So we'll keep talking with them. And what was the other one you said? You said the Rylander and.
He's right up the street from the Halal grocery store in Rylander. He's right there by the car lot where they work on cars. Yeah.
All right, yeah, I know exactly where that is. So we'll definitely keep a keener eye on that one. That one I wasn't really aware that he was cleaning cars there, but we'll keep an eye on that one.
Okay, so just so everyone's clear, I'm tightly controlling the mics, because if all the mics are on, it will drown out whoever's speaking. So if you listen to the last full board meeting tape, for example, there was moments where board members were speaking, you couldn't hear them at all. They're clearly, you could see their mouth moving, but you couldn't hear them because I had all the mics on at that point. So we have Marcy, then Al. Microphone, please.
Thank you. Regarding the homeless woman on Kruger Avenue. And we can't be pointing fingers at the police department. I'm going to be very blunt about this. First of all, thank you guys for all your help and picking up my phone calls. Thank you. Here's the main issue. Al and I brought this to the attention of this board months ago. Am I right, Al? And everyone brushed it off and compared this person along with the other people that we noticed great influx of homeless on White Plains Road, compared them to drug addicts, which they're not. Homeless, anything could have happened to these people in their lives. I don't know personally. I'm not taking anybody's side. But I met this woman when she saw me in the street. She was having problems. She had a resume. She's former military, former marksman. So here is how she devolved, because we as a community did not take an interest in helping her. Okay, this is the same woman who slept in Bank of America, begging for her life, crying at the train station. She doesn't want to be homeless. So our community board did have somebody from the Homeless Division, City of New York, who will be speaking at this community board to see what we can do to take further steps to improve the situation in the Bronx altogether. It's really a citywide and a statewide problem. So what can we do as a community? I guess that's my question, and the answer is, rhetorically, we're going to have to listen to this lady when she comes with possible solutions. So until then, I don't know what the answer is, but we have to work together. That's it.
Al D'Angelo?
One of the things that we're concerned about in this community is quality of life issues. And it seems this city has allowed quality of life issues to go by the boards. There has to be a way to keep our middle-class community feeling safe and being able to walk down the street without being inundated with people begging or people with mental disabilities. Now, I know the police department's hands are tied to a point. I guess the community's hands are tied also. But this is not what you would find in Scarsdale or Riverdale or Larchmont. Why do we have to put up with it in the Bronx? Now, I agree. These people need help. But let's get them the help that they need. There are shelters all over the place that should be able to take these people in. Somebody has got to get them off the streets and get them help. Just leaving them there is a sin. We can ignore it and walk past them every day and just, throw them $1 or whatever, or buy them a cup of coffee. That's not helping them evolve into, nurtured human beings. So we're doing them an injustice by allowing them to do what they're doing. So I don't know how, again, I don't know what the police department can do. I know more and more restrictions are being put on the police department. But if people like this are, and again, you don't want them arrested, but the police job is to arrest. So what they have to do is arrest, and then hopefully the system will then take them on from there. But in most cases, that's not going to happen.
Edith?
I just want to make one comment. I know for a fact that Bronx Works was there on Kruger Avenue talking to this woman. I also know for a fact that the Veterans Administration was there talking to this woman, because I was there. She refuses the help. So therefore, our hands are tied. Marcy, it's not what we can do as a community. It's that these people don't want the help. That's all there is to it. And you can't force them to do it.
Okay, so let's move on. Unless there's anything else somebody has for the captain, we thank him very much for his presence. Thank you. And we will move on to Yankee Awards. All right, so there was a request made that we have the Yankee Award recipients here. And we do have, I think, we have most of them, if not all of them, here tonight. Our camera guy will take a photo. So I recommend I call everybody up, you come up, and then one by one we'll pull out the little frame that we got for you. So every Yankee Award recipient received in the mail to the office a letter from the New York Yankees on letterhead, followed by a $750 stipend. And this was these award recipients were handled by the Education and Youth Committee, Linda White and Diane Norris, which both chair those committees. So I don't know if these ladies would like to come up with the recipients and they take a photo. I don't know if Al would like to be in that photo. So I will, one by one, I will call your name. Please come up. Yeah. In fact, let's put up here. So, If I mispronounce your name, I apologize. You know what? We'll just go with last names. Ms. Coleman? So Ms. Coleman was nominated. Take it out so she can. We're gonna do photos. Ms. Coleman was nominated by the Allerton Merchants Association. And then if we can also have Ms. Alciwi, who was not. She was nominated by the Bronx Muslim Center. So just wait here, ladies. Stand to the side, please. Your Brady can help us there. Miss, who's that? Ms. Michelle. She was nominated by the New York Public Library. The Morris Park branch. All three branches were a prize, though. Then Olivia Musto, who was nominated by the Morris Park Community Association. And then last but not least, Daniel Flores, who was nominated by the Pelham Parkway Neighborhood Association. We're going to give you back the box after we're done with the photos. So please come back and get the box, unless you want to carry the frame and risk breaking it. The $750 stipend is inside the frame. It's to the back page. It's for you. And Joanna. Congratulations. So now we got the gallery session. I think most people here are familiar with the drill. But if you're not, so when I call your name, you'll come up to the mic, number 8. You'll look at, please address the board member at all times. And you can only respond to at most, unless determined otherwise, by the full board, 2 questions or statements by board members only, not the public. We'll start with Kevin Diola. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your last name. Okay.
Hi. I see on the agenda later we're going to be talking about Morris Park Avenue. I'm just making a quick note, a letter I wrote to Councilman Mark Jonai 2 weeks ago. I didn't get a reply from, so I just want to read it out loud here. I may adapt it a little bit. It's basically talking about the injunction, the recent injunction. Councilman Mark Jonai has recently led some community members and businesses in the area to fight the Morris Park Avenue road diet. It was an injunction, and that just means the DOT had to stop their work. We're waiting for a response from a judge on the 28th or the 29th of this month, and this is kind of what I wrote to him. Community Board 11, Morris Park Community Association, and many, many people who are for the against the road diet, and myself have debated for a year or so. This injunction now puts it on hold. A judge will decide whether it should go forward as a road diet or stay as it is. So some of us feel that the roads should be safer by implementing the road diet, and some of us feel that, you know, the road diet would not benefit any safety. I just want to look forward from that, whatever decision is made, that on the opposing side versus the side that would appreciate the road diet, that we all look forward. Whatever that decision is, we have to now think about education and, unfortunately, enforcement. They left. I wish they were here for me to hear me say that. No problem. I came up with some thoughts to throw at him. Perhaps we gather some momentum and get some enforcement needed. Perhaps we sponsor a bicycle pedestrian safety day in Loretto Park. Perhaps we have meetings where we educate some drivers at stop signs or lights. Maybe the community gets together and has a DOT bike helmet day or a baby car safety seat check day. Any one of these things would just bring the community together. Is that the end?
Yep. All right. Thank you very much. Any questions, comments? Okay, we'll move on to the New York Public Library. Manny Martinez, the Allerton Branch Manager.
Yeah, but thank you. Thank you for having me. Just first want to start off by just giving a special thanks to Jeremy and to Jean DeFrancis, who today participated in one of the programs that we had at the library today. So we had the children write thank you notes to the troops because Memorial Day is coming up. And I know on Memorial Day we celebrate more of those that pass. But this time around, we wanted to send thank you letters. And we had Jeremy do a show and tell with some equipment. So thank you very much for that. After you guys left, they were kind of engaged in talking about all the equipment. So thank you for that. I do want to also mention that we are doing a build a resume workshop. So anyone in the community that's interested in furthering their resume, we got a professional career coach that's coming by. It's going to be on June 5th. That's a Wednesday at 4:30. And June 15th, that's a Saturday at 12 p.m. for those that can't make it during the week. We also working with 3 museums as part of our promotion for the Culture Pass. So we got 3 museums coming in to do programs for the children. Those will be on various days. The first one coming up, I left it over there. It's going to be Thursday, May 30th at 3:30 to 5 p.m. for the children. Also, I do want to mention that the libraries, every year, we're facing budget cuts. So I would really appreciate the support. And go online, investinlibraries.org. Sign a letter of support for the library because we are facing budget cuts both on the capital side and the expense side. So I would really appreciate that. Investinlibraries.org. Show your support. Sign a letter for the libraries. Libraries are a vital resource to the community. And, without funding, we wouldn't be able to provide programming.
Thank you, Manny. Okay, unless there's the questions, we will move on to Marcy Gross, who's a board member.
Hello, everybody. I'm Marcy Gross. How do you do? This was a personal request from Mario on the corner of Leidig and White Plains Road. A lot of bikes going by. 2 people were hit in the past week and a half on the corner of Leidig Avenue and White Plains Road. And that's in front of 2140 White Plains Road, right there. So personal request, please, can we have people watching the street bicyclist going back and forth? And second request, Leidig Avenue is, I think, what they call a grade C or level C road. The increase in traffic on that road is causing it to become a level A. So how do we get speed bumps on there? Do I need to do a petition? We need some speed bumps on Leidig Avenue really badly. Al. Jeremy, somebody.
I don't see the speeding on Leidig only because there's so much traffic on Leidig Avenue because they have so many stores on both sides. I mean, the speed bump, Jeremy let us know that, you need petition from the residents in the community, X amount of petition.
Okay.
But I don't know if a speed bump is warranted at that point.
No, we do.
Because every time I've gone on Leidig Avenue, I've been going like 2 miles an hour.
Well, in front of my house is very dangerous.
Is it?
Yeah, they're hitting the road there even at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's super busy with the cars.
So if you can get your neighbors to sign a petition?
Yeah.
Andrea.
Leidig Avenue is not allowed to have a speed bump because of the truck traffic.
Well, we're going to have to change something.
Well.
You know, and seriously, because somebody's going to get hurt. When I get home, depends all different. They're flying down that road like there's no speed limit there.
So I can, Debbie Kolick, microphone, please.
This also goes into, I've been asking for 16 years for a stop sign at Mulliner and Leidig, because once they come down that Leidig Hill and they start on the straightaway, they do hit the gas pedal really hard.
Yep. So I will double check with DOT. Okay. So I will double check with DOT regarding what Andrea said.
Cameras. All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So next is Camilla from the Morris Park bid, the new executive director.
Hello, everybody. My name is Camelia Tepelus. I'm now exactly 1 month into my new job as executive director of the Morris Park BID, which stands for Business Improvement District. It's an organization that has been many years in the making, but it's now in its first year of operation. And then just 3 weeks ago, we opened our new office, which is still under construction to some extent, at 966 Morris Park Avenue. It's right next to the Subway store and kind of around the corner from the community board office. I want to say thank you first to the community board for helping me with so many issues since I got here. I felt very welcome by you, and I hope that I will be a very reliable partner right back to you. We already executed a community outreach event for Mother's Day. We will co-sponsor and provide children's entertainment at the Yemeni American Day Parade on June 8th. We plan an event to celebrate graduation of kids on Morris Park Avenue on June 25th. We are already on social media. Please follow us to know what's going on. I just wanted to stress the fact that our mandate is strictly Morris Park Avenue, businesses and property owners between Union, Port Road, and Williams Road. And our mandate is specifically supplementary sanitation, beautification, district marketing, and safety. And with regards to the two questions that were already raised, graffiti removal, we do have a contractor on site 7 hours a day, 7 days a week. So once every 3 months, they are specifically doing graffiti removal. So if you have locations, please send them to me so that every 3 months I can take care of it. And second,
Okay. All right, so thank you very much. Oh, who? I can't hear. Speak loud. Forever hold your peace. Thank you. So we have one of our Yankee Award recipients, Miss Al-Silwi, regarding the Yemeni American Day Parade, which Morris Park just mentioned.
Good evening. My name is Salsbi Al-Silwi, and I'm speaking on behalf of Community Board Member Yahya Ubaid and the Yemeni American community in New York City. They would like to invite you to the first Yemeni American Day Parade on Saturday, June 8 at 11 a.m. The parade will run down Rylander Avenue, starting at Bronxdale Avenue, ending at White Plains Road. Flyers with more information of the parade are located on the table. They are hoping you will attend and celebrate with them, and they hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you. It should be noted that our board member Yahya could not be here tonight because he's being honored by the borough president at his Break the Fast event. So then we have Safi Toure, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, from the United Gambians Association.
Hello everyone, my name is Safi Toure. I'm here on behalf of United Gambian Association. I'm just here because we're planning on having a street fair on July 20th between Mead and Baker Street. This is the first time we're doing this, and it is to introduce the association to the community, and so we're hoping that you guys can approve the event. That's it, thank you.
Okay. Linda White, microphone.
Ms. Toure? Question? You mentioned that you have an association. Where's your association?
It's well, right now we don't really have an official location yet, but we do have meetings in the Bronx, in Parchester. Yes.
What I thought. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Grace Lavaglio, regarding the captain.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to say publicly that the captain came to me, took time out of his schedule, him, Jay, and Dave Lepore, came to where I live so we could discuss the issues that I may have had following the council meeting. So I just wanted to say thank you. I wanted to publicly thank him for taking the time out to come and see me and listen to what I had to say. And just quickly, I wanted to rebut something that Kevin said about the road diet. You blinked. So, transportation alternatives are partnered with the bike companies that are looking to come in here and for people to use their bikes. So don't let them try to pull the wool over your eyes. This has nothing to do with bike safety. It has nothing to do with road safety. It has to do with money. They want to make money. They're a 501c3. They're partnered with these bike companies, and they're in bed with the elected officials down at City Hall who also want to grab a piece of that pie. So he's talking about doing all these things that they do on the Grand Concourse, which is fine. The Grand Concourse is the Grand Concourse. But Morris Park is not the Grand Concourse, and we don't need to be tried to be persuaded that it's a good idea to have this road diet, because it is not a good idea for the road diet. And I would just urge you not to be taken in by the charlatans that are looking to make a buck off the community at the expense of the community. Thank you. Any questions?
Great. Thank you, Grace. That ends the gallery session. We'll move on to the elected officials portion. Thomas Lucania, Ruben Diaz Sr., or Ruben, Borough President's Office.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to thank those members who attended the Community Board Appreciation Evening at the courthouse last 2 weeks ago, Thursday. We appreciate you being there, and we hope you had a good time. We did honor the 6 female community board chairpersons, and in this borough we have half of our boards are chaired by females, and we wanted to celebrate that. And as we reach the 100 years of women's suffrage, we wanted to acknowledge those leaders here in the borough. As I mentioned, Bronx Week was just completed. We again thank you for your attendance at all of the events, whether it was the dinner, the concert, the food festival on Marshalltown Parkway. All of those events were very well attended, and we appreciate your assistance in anything that your organizations may have done. Next year is census year, and the borough president is working with the State Complete Count Committee, and they will be reaching out to CBOs, and I believe they've reached out to the office already to work with community-based organizations to be sure that all of our residents in the district are counted. You'll be receiving your first notification of the census in the probably March or April of next year. And if you don't fill out the short form that is sent to you, then you will get visits and phone calls from Census Bureau. So I urge you to fill out that short form and have all of your family members fill out and your neighbors, so that we can get a count as accurate as we can, because you know that all affects the funding from the federal government. Tonight, just as an aside, is the vote at Community Board 1 regarding the new proposed jail. The committee of Board 1 did oppose it at their committee meeting, and so this evening is the full ULURP hearing and the vote by the full community board. And then finally, one of the things that you approved in the charter changes from last year was a civic engagement commission, and the borough president has an appointee to that commission, and he has appointed Lilian Perez, who's presently works at Montefiore as Director of Government and Community Relations. She is the Borough President's representative on the commission, and she will be reporting back to us on the work that they will be doing, specifically that involves community boards and community outreach. Thank you.
So I'll move on to Councilmember Jonai's office, Mr. Malziu.
Good evening. Maybe I can take this out. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ardmir from Councilman Mark Jonai's office. It's good to be here. Just a couple of announcements. Councilman Jonai will begin participatory budgeting next year. District 13 constituents will soon partake in how to spend $1 million on capital improvements to schools, police, parks, libraries, and more. So stay tuned for more information on the upcoming weeks. In partnership with CUNY Citizenship Now, our office will be hosting a free citizenship application assistance on Saturday, June 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Lehman High School campus. For an appointment, you can contact our office. We'll gladly schedule an appointment for you. Our office has also partnered with the 49th Precinct and the Pelham Parkway Neighborhood Association for a graffiti removal day on June 14th at 12 p.m. The meetup location is at 721 Leidig Avenue. If you have any places, any spots that you see that have graffiti, please let me know at the end of the meeting. I'll gladly take those down. And there is also flyers on the table. In observance of Ramadan, a holy month for many constituents in District 13, Councilman Jonai is hosting iftar dinners at mosques throughout the whole entire district. I also have another flyer for that as well. And lastly, in partnership with the MTA New York City Transit, our office is hosting a MetroCard mobile sales van in front of Rain Boston Road Senior Center on Wednesday, May 29th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. New York City Transit representatives will assist on applications for discounted MetroCards for seniors and disabled people, and much more. That's all I have. Thank you very much. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you. So, Councilmember Torres' office, Mr. McManus.
Gotta get a taller mic here. We got two tall guys here. I just wanted to wish everybody have a happy Memorial Day. Silvio, I will definitely be at your event, or the Memorial Day event, but Silvio runs it all the time. I just want to let you know that the councilman has always appreciated the police department. He's always given out the Cop of the Month award citations. I've heard a few things at some of these meetings about the coops, the scaffolding. I called the office 3 times, never got a return phone call. So if anybody has another contact number, I'd appreciate it. I put some flyers out, and the councilman Torres has made his submitted his final recommendations for candidates to the community board, to the borough president's office, and I believe you should shortly be getting a letter to whomever was selected, and that is the strength of my report.
Great, thank you, Joe. District Attorney's Office, Darcel Clark, represented by Christina Calderon.
Good evening, everyone. At this moment, there are no announcements, but we are working on another town hall as well as a summer workshop, which will most likely be the ceiling statue. As soon as we get that information, I'll send it to Jeremy and he'll distribute it as necessary. Thank you.
Can the DA do something about that person on Leidig Avenue and others?
Who is that person?
They let either speak.
The person we have a problem on Kruger, but I want everybody to know that Darcel is going to be our guest on June 11th at Bronx House at 7 o'clock, and we hope every one of you come so we have what to give her arguments. It's the Pelham Parkway Neighborhood Association.
Okay, sounds good. Does she have that information? Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez's office, Destiny Cruz.
Hi, folks. My name is Destiny Cruz. I'm taking place for Noreen Akhtar. Just for today, she will be back next month. We do have a few updates. Two highlights while the Congresswoman was in DC. First, in the Oversight Committee, she took some time to shine light on the issues that people are facing in Puerto Rico post Maria, and second, in the Financial Services Committee, NYCHA was discussed. So she is looking to support NYCHA residents, and something we've all been waiting for. We have signed a lease for a Bronx office. It's going to be at 726 Lydig Avenue. In the meantime, I am the Bronx representative, and I've been staying at Assemblymember Carines Reyes' office at 1973 Westchester Avenue. I'm there Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Next week, the Congresswoman is in town, so my schedule is going to be a little different. And speaking of the Congresswoman being in town, she's actually going to be at a town hall organized by community groups like Bronx Park East Community Association, Bronx Progressives, and amongst others. That's going to be at the Sands, located at 815 Allerton Avenue, May 30th, starting at 7 p.m. This is our flyer. I left some in the back for you folks to see. Yep. Well, that's everything I have. Thank you, folks.
Tony Signorelli, microphone, please.
Hi.
Hi.
Would you take a message to the senator on my behalf?
Congresswoman.
Congresswoman, sorry.
Sure.
That's because we never see her. We don't know what title she has. She's supposed to be here, but she never shows up. But the message is this. We will like her when she gets mails from the Italian Heritage, the Columbus Italian Heritage Coalition. 2 letters were sent to her. We never got a reply.
So I could write it down?
Sure.
Yeah.
The Columbus Heritage Coalition.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any additional questions?
Rabbi Fuchs, microphone, please.
Excuse me. So I wish the Congresswoman much good luck in her new office, and I hope she has a lot of success there. But strategically, 726 Lydig is packed with cars already. How is anybody besides walking to the Congresswoman's office going to get to see her?
Well, hopefully we have constituents who can fight parking or they take public transportation. We want to be accessible as possible, not just to folks who may have cars, but also folks who need to travel with transportation.
Okay.
Okay, Gallery, please silence. Please, we need to continue the meeting. Thank you. So, Alessandro Biagi's office, Christian Amato.
Good evening, everybody. First, I'd like to wish you all a happy Memorial Day weekend. Just a couple of announcements today. The first announcement is we will be doing a town hall with the Assemblywoman, with Congresswoman Ocasio, with Senator Jamal Bailey at the Sands. So Senator Biaggi will be there as well. That's May 30th. If you're looking for more conversations about housing and home ownership, we will also be doing a larger town hall and resource fair at PS 83 on June 7th. This will be from 4 p.m. to 7:30, and I've put flyers up front. The first half will have about 30 different agency partners, so whether you're a homeowner or a tenant, you'll be able to have questions and cases worked on and leave with solutions. and we'll be doing a town hall to discuss the Housing Justice for All platform. That'll be from 6 to 7:30, and it'll end with a half-hour Q&A period. That's at PS 83, and flyers are up front. I want to give a big congratulations to Camila Tepelis. She is a really incredible ally for our office. We got to meet her in Riverdale. She's done incredible work with KRVC, so I'm happy she's part of our neighborhood now. It's a real gift for us. In addition to that, we're lucky to be sharing the office on Leidig Avenue with the Congresswoman to combat the fact that there are parking issues on Leidig Avenue. We will also be doing mobile office hours once a month at the Bronx House starting this summer. I'll be sure to circulate flyers when that time comes. I'll be here till the end if you have any questions for me. Thank you very much.
And unless anyone's opposed, mobile office hours can also be done at the Community Board 11 office. Senator Jamal Bailey's office, Rennell.
Good evening. So the senator, we had a capstock event Saturday. That was the wrapping up of our capstock events that we've had the past couple of months with the different precincts. The precinct we just finished off with was the 47th and 45th precinct. Upcoming is also stated was the town hall event with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Senator Alexandra Biaggi, and Assemblywoman Natalia Fernandez. So I'll just reiterate the same information that was told. It's Thursday, May 30th at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. If you would like to attend, you must RSVP. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, Assemblymember Fernandez's office, Dylan.
How's everyone doing tonight? On behalf of the Assemblywoman, I want to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day, and on behalf of the Assemblywoman, to Camila, congratulations. Not to belabor the point, but yes, we are also on the housing forum that everyone has already announced, so I'm not going to announce that. We are having a reusable bag giveaway on Friday, June 7th at our office on 2018 Williamsbridge Road from 11 to 4. You can RSVP at our on the phone or email anyone in our office. And secondly, we have a free mammogram screening that we are doing on Saturday, June 8th, along with Councilman Andy Cohen, but that's over at the Moshalou Library on 285th East 205th Street. And that's going to be happening at 10 a.m. It is a free mammogram screening for uninsured women 40 years age of older. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything, you guys know how to reach me.
Great. Thank you very much, Dylan. And we will turn it now over to Albert D'Angelo.
Good evening. I need a motion to approve the agenda. Full board minutes, yeah.
Yeah, last one.
I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Terrific. Now to go on to the road dieting, as was mentioned earlier. Morris Park is in the spotlight for this road dieting piece. It has never, the city has never lost a case. Right now, there is an injunction. At the end of the month, there will be a decision made by the judge whether to continue or whether to vote in favor of the city. We've gotten calls as far away as California, people wanting to help us with this road dieting issue. People from Jersey, a fellow named Lagos from the Wall Street Journal has been in constant touch with our lawyer, giving him information about road dieting information. Again, as was said once before, we're fighting the fight. We're fighting the fight for the community. Hopefully we win. If not, we will do the best with what we have. But right now, things look pretty good. We were lied to by the city when they told us that they went to all the stores in the community and asked them about what they thought about this road dieting. They didn't go to one store. Novato said he went to the stores on the avenue and asked them about this road dieting. They didn't go to one store on the avenue. So there's been a few things in this lawsuit that the city was not forthright. So hopefully we'll win this thing. But again, we're fighting the fight. We'll see what happens.
So, treasurer's report, I guess. I know there's no report that's been distributed. It's up to you. It's up. So somebody's gotta make that motion. It's up to you.
I need a motion to go into executive session. We have a personal issue that needs to be discussed. Do I have a second? I have a second. All in favor? We need 22 in favor of going into executive session. Just count them. It looks like it's unanimous. All right.
Are any against? Any against or abstentions?
I'm sorry?
Are there any against?
Right. Anybody against? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. I will ask our guests to please step out for, it shouldn't take more than 3 or 4 minutes, but...
Just manager's report. Got a lot to do, obviously, on here. It's 10 pages.
Right after your report, David.
Okay. So something discussed last night, 2225 Lodovick Avenue. There's a temporary boiler. The new update really is on page 2 of my report. DOB issued a violation for that temporary boiler not having a permit. And then we also contacted the city DOT, which also issued a violation. And then those of you meeting with Ocasio-Cortez, board members that are meeting with Ocasio-Cortez, the current agenda is there on page 2. And I sent an email to the full board reminding them that, previously stated at a full board meeting, I believe it was in the fall, that if you want to get notices directly from the Pelham Parkway project people, please reach out to Thomas Alexander. You're on page 3. Yeah, Don. Mike?
Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez is coming to community board. Which day? I thought it was supposed to be the 28th. Now I'm hearing it's the 29th.
29th currently, and unless you've let me know you're coming, you're not. Okay. I don't know who you spoke to, but I don't remember. Either way, all right, I got you, Dom Shano. Yeah, but this is a private meeting. This is only open for board members. I did get a request from a member of the public. When I consulted with Al, it's just going to be board members. Yeah. Oral Selkridge, yes, you're coming too. Yes, 5 o'clock, the 29th, Wednesday, the 29th.
I'm coming.
Okay, Shiano, Oral, Frano, and Signorelli. Current agenda is, like I said, on page 2 of my printed report. That concludes items 10A, B, and C, and then murals. So I know Daisy Rodriguez gave me a mural contact. I spoke to Gene DeFrancis because I was really impressed with the work they did in Allerton Avenue, particularly the Bruce Lee mural. Gene was going to try to get me a proposal, but I have not yet received a proposal. And the DOT contact never got back to me. I tried calling her twice, left a message, obviously, at least one of the times. The only proposal we have currently is from Lovey Pignata. And the most recent proposal, which I have here on page 4, 5, and 6, it would correspond to the vote by the full board last month. It'd be 2 murals for $4,000. Unless anyone's opposed, I say we need to go with this because we are going to give the money back to the city the way it's going. there's no time left to do last-minute proposals. So, unless anyone's opposed, nobody's opposed, then we're going to go with this, okay? Thank you. Amtrak at White Plains Road and Tremont Avenue. So some of you have already noted that Bernadette and I were speaking to News 12 yesterday. As a result of that News 12 segment, we did get a call from a property owner / developer who believes he owns the property and supposedly has been in touch with Councilmember Torres' office about rezoning the property. So I need to definitely talk to Torres' office. I just got this information today, so I have not yet had a chance to speak to Torres' office. Yankee Awards. Okay, so we had the kids come up, right? The game was supposed to be last week. It got postponed to August. So whoever received tickets for the August game or that for last week is now for the August game. There's going to be a special ceremony for the kids in June, though. So there will be additional tickets given to us for the kids. So, I'm going to leave that as is unless anybody has questions. Borough Board and Cabinet meetings. I know people earlier this year were concerned about me attending Borough Board and Cabinet meetings. So I just want to make clear starting on page 7, so one of the duties of a chairperson of a community board or district manager of a community board is to attend Borough Board and Borough Cabinet meetings. And you can see there on page 8 who attended what, thanks to the sign-in sheets provided by the Borough President's office. I know I sometimes come late to some of these things, but I do come, and I know the 2 times I was not able to attend the Borough Cabinet meetings. I know one I had a conflict with my district service cabinet meeting. The other one I was out on leave, and I cannot fill in for the chairman at the Borough Board meetings. I know some people think I can. I cannot. It's just like I can't sit in your place at a committee meeting or here at the full board meeting. I cannot fill in for the chairman. It has to be another board member. It has to be by written permission. So that is 10G, 10H. So I got a complaint from, I believe it's a teacher at St. Francis, that the parents and faculty at St. Francis are being harassed by ticket agents. I spoke to the PD about this. PD said doesn't have any real control over traffic agents. If anything, they have more control in telling traffic enforcement where there's a problem that needs to be addressed. So I informed them about a complaint I got about St. Clair's. There's a request for traffic agents there, and there's a previous request for PS 108. And 311 log, I know a couple of board members have requested that I rectify a 311 log that I started a long time ago, and this is a working document. I know I got some feedback from one board member earlier this week, and it is in your packet, or actually it was handed out with your packet because that's one of the things I had to print last. And then the town hall, public town hall. I did create this flyer. It's on the back of my DM report. Actual separate flyers, if you want to take some. I printed out 70 of them on the table by Chris, so it's a little bit better copy because this is a scanned copy. We have a Pelham Parkway public hearing. That's 7 p.m. on Tuesday, June 11th. This is for the North Side Service Road. And as I said at a previous meeting this month, so there are 2 issues. I already told the city right off the bat, you need to address the south side and repaving that, because I know people are going to come to this meeting asking that. They said they would. And then the second issue is Esplanade Avenue by Peace Plaza, and the train station in front of the New York Eye Center. That's going to be blocked off for 6 months, 6 to 7 months. So that's a big reason to come to this meeting. What it is they have a 48-inch water main running from approximately Eastchester Road to Boston Road. At Esplanade, where the train runs underneath the roadway, the roof of the train is too high. Therefore, the 48-inch water main has to be broken down into 3 separate, smaller pipes. And that's supposedly, to do that, is going to take 6 to 7 months. And they will have to block off where you go in front of the Eye Center on Esplanade. That's going to be blocked off. Actually, on the south side in the service road, you patients for the eye center can come down. They have to go down the one way you normally wouldn't go down and then make a U-turn. So unless there's any questions about my report, let's leave that as that. Please speak to me after the meeting, ideally. And we'll move on to committee reports for the leadership committee, which... Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Al would like the employee relations committee to go first.
Good evening. I want to begin by thanking the Employee Relations Committee, Janice, Tasneem, Sandy, and Dom, who met twice this month to discuss these important issues. Also, the Leadership Committee, who met this month and spent a number of hours discussing these issues as well, and the Executive Board that has been working on these issues for about 3 or 4 months already. So the minutes have been distributed. The motions that we have reported out of committee are in the agenda, but I just passed out the identical motions. They're just printed on a separate sheet of paper so that you can all see where we're going with this. Since these motions are coming out of committee, they do not require a second. So I'll put each one on the floor, open it for discussion. When I open it for discussion, I would ask that you keep the discussion on that motion and not make it into a larger issue if we can. So the first motion is that the community board approve a change in schedule from part-time, 30 hours a week, to full-time, 35 hours per week, for community coordinator Harriet Lasky, with a new full-time salary of $71,949. It doesn't need a second, but thank you. It's open for discussion. Is there any discussion on this motion? Daisy.
Just for clarification, the 1,500 is already included in that 71.
Because there were 2 separate meetings that those issues were considered separately, we made them as separate motions for Harriet. Is that what you're asking? The 1,500 is not included. Is there any other discussion on this motion? Yes, Lisa.
Okay, so I noticed for Jeremy, you have what the current was versus the new one. Do we have it for the other ones that we're considering? When I say one, I mean salary, sorry.
Yes, if you give me a moment, I have my notes. Harriet's current salary is approximately $62,000. I have it. It's published each month on the treasurer's report. I'm sorry. It's the last treasurer's report that was distributed. Harriet's salary is $63,165, and it would go to $71,949. It's not listed as a raise, quote unquote, because it's a change in hours. Any other discussion on this motion? Rabbi.
Okay, so Harriet works very hard, and she truly deserves this. But my question to you is, let's say if Harriet cannot work 35 hours in a week, can she offload hours to a different week and work more? Or that's not against city rules?
Tom, can you address that? I don't believe that can be done.
Make a certain hours on a week, could she make it up on a different week? No. Okay, thank you.
Janice, Mike. Microphone.
The increase, does that include part of John's salary?
Yes. What's going on here with all of these 4 motions is to distribute all of John Fratta's salary, which was for purposes of discussion about $30,500.
Is going to Harriet's salary. How much of John's $30,000 is being given to Harriet?
Approximately approximately 10,000, 11,000. I don't have the exact numbers.
Okay. All right, question. The $30,000 from John's salary, can it be distributed evenly to each person? The $30,000 left from John's salary. I know Harriet's getting an increase from part-time to full-time, but my question is, go ahead, answer.
The,
Give him a mic.
oh,
Pass
I
the
was
mic.
going to say, with the job title change for, in other words, Harriet going full-time, that would eat up $10,000. Just the fact that she's going full-time. So it's not it's not a division. She has to go full-time. The board decided that it was okay with us.
Just in addition, what David would probably say later, but out of that $30,000, $5,600 or so was already used previously. 5,600 was previously used for Chris's raise. So you're not even talking about 30, you're talking about 24 and change. You can't, I don't know what I'm going to say here. Harriet's title change requires, I mean, you work for this, I'm sorry, I apologize. Harriet's change in hours is still at the same hourly rate, and now it just becomes a full-time equivalent. Chris's title change has a min and a max, as you're aware. So you would have to work within those boundaries. But what they've done here is they've taken the title change and provided Chris with that additional money. Well, when you get to Chris, he'll tell you. But what you're asking for is a little difficult, given that they're doing a number of different actions in this.
So just to clarify for David, the proposed increase would be $10,514.
2,500.
No, 10,514.
And that includes part of John's 24,000, right?
That would come from John's old salary. Yes.
Discussion on this motion? Janice?
And if both of them are given, okay, you said 54 for Harriet, right? What'd you say?
54 went as a merit increase to Chris a number of months ago.
Okay. That went to Chris. Okay, go ahead. And the balance, you have 24,000 left?
So then the number that Jeremy just said would be going to Harriet. How much is that? 10,000?
10,514.
And then Chris's current salary is 51,563, and he would be going to 61,403. So that's approximately another 10,000. You're asking for the allocation from so that's what I'm telling you. And then the balance
Salaries off.
the
It's not 63, 61.
Give the proper base.
and then the balance would go to Jeremy as a merit increase. Is
So-
that
Okay, I'm not understanding why he's only getting 5,000. Why wouldn't he get more?
Janice, you were
Yes.
at the meeting.
Listen. When I'm speaking, let me speak. Now you go. Don't tell me I was at the meeting because you know how raucous that meeting was. Okay? So I'm trying to get specific figures. Okay? Here we go.
Thank you.
Again, somebody complained about the last meeting. Okay? I can leave them on, but it may cut out on you on the tape, as discussed.
Just leave his on.
Okay, so I saw Sal. Any other hands? And then Sal, then Edith.
Okay. I can understand what the lady wants to do to split it evenly. It's impossible because you have job titles and you have previous raises. So the only way you can do it is the way the board has done is to change the hourly rate from Ms. Lasky from part-time to full-time, and that's the formula for that. Chris got a bonus before or merit raise, and then what happens is now he's actually doing John Fratta's job. So it's a title change and additional stuff. So actually, whatever is left, Jeremy gets as a merit increase. There's no way you can divide it evenly and give it to each one the same amount because the city has a formula and job rates and part-time entitles. You can't do it. So the way it's proposed is the only way that it could be done. Thank you.
Edith had her hand. Edith Blitzer, microphone.
You know, that's all good and well what the city does, and I know that you know much more than I do regarding increases. However, it's very hard for me to go through this thick skull that the district manager is only going to get $5,000 when everybody else is getting 10 plus. And his salary is much less than all the other district managers. And yet, whenever we call on him, we have no problem with him doing what we're asking him to do. So what is the reasoning behind this? Somebody give me an answer.
That's not true. He's not the lowest paid of the district managers. So let's not go there. The way it worked out, and this is what the committee did, basically, they took the money, we decided not to hire another person. So we gave Harriet full-time, which took about $10,000 of it. Before we decided not to hire anybody, Chris got an incentive increase because we wanted to give him a little of John's money, and then we were thinking about hiring somebody. That's what the committee wanted to do. We voted not to hire someone. So that left us with Harriet getting $10,000 more because she went full-time. Chris getting an extra, I forgot how much it was, but it was whatever it was. And then we decided to give Chris a title change because we wanted to give him a little bit more of John's previous job. And so that was an extra, I don't know how much that came to, Jeremy. And then I think we had about $3,500 left of that. Now, Harriet didn't get a merit increase. Because she got a raise doesn't mean she doesn't merit an increase. So we gave her $1,000, and gave Jeremy $1,500. And that's about the best way we could have come up with this at this point. Or something like that. I'm close. But basically, that's what we did.
Is there any other discussion on this motion?
Yeah, I had hands raised. I did have Janice, but I know Linda hasn't said anything yet. So if we don't mind going to Linda first. And then Ellie Rodriguez.
If I had understood correctly from the leadership meeting, didn't Jeremy get a merit raise already? Yeah, but it was separate, but he already got a right, okay. And then there was the merit raise for Chris before. So now you have the new title, you have Harry going full-time. Right now, you see the $5,000 increase for Jeremy, but remember, he just got a merit raise, managerial raise. So it's not that he's just getting this small amount. When you add them up between the last part of last year and everything, everybody's gotten the right amount.
So let me clarify, since you brought it up, every staff member received that raise in September. The same percentage. Every staff member received a raise, not just me, everybody.
Talking about the city raise.
Yes,
No,
that's what
we're
you
not
just.
talking about that. We're not because
What?
you can't figure that into this.
Well, you brought it up.
Okay, the way I understood it from the leadership committee, it was something different, so
Nope.
I apologize.
Nope. Last time
Okay.
anyone received a merit increase here, besides Chris, this year was 2017.
Okay,
when all three of us
that's
were signed.
contractual, and that's not considered a merit raise. So, thank you.
Ellie Rodriguez had his hand up.
Just a point of clarification. The title change is at 61,403. Is that the minimum for that title change?
No, the minimum is 60,403. So the committee decided to slot Chris in at 61,403, so that we were allocating all of John Fratta's old salary. We weren't leaving anything else in the personnel services budget. It's on the paper I distributed. 61,403.
The base.
60,403.
So basically, he got $1,000.
No,
And we keep screaming about $8,000 each.
No, Chris's current salary was reported on the last treasurer's report as 51.5. I think it's actually 53. So it is an increase from about 53.5 to 61,403. It is an increase.
Can we? I mean, come on. This is very uncomfortable.
You can say that, but again, the way somebody wanted all these mics. I remember one of the best meetings we had was when we had one mic, and I was running around. I didn't mind running around, but you want 8 mics? This is what we have. It will cut out if I put all the mics on.
It's 8:51. We've been here for almost 2 hours. Looks like we're going to be here another 2 hours. That's inexcusable. Let's be specific and answer our questions as promptly as possible. Stop shutting me down, please. Thank you. Let me make my point. Chris has been adjusted to a new title.
Well, not yet, but that's the proposal.
That's a proposal. Basically, we're almost at the lowest level, the minimum versus the max. What's the max for his position?
For the new position?
Thank you, yes.
81.
Thank you. That's all I'm trying to bring out.
We've gone over this enough times. We've gone over it. Committees have met with it. We brought it here. We went back and forth. We went back again. Again, I laud the committee for the job they did. Let's get this done. Janice?
Chris just got a merit increase when? 2 months ago? In February, am I correct? Okay, so he's getting another merit increase now?
No, he's getting a title change with new responsibilities.
I asked a question. Is he getting another merit?
No.
I know, I was there. I know about the promotion. I'm just trying to figure out why Jeremy's getting what he's getting. Okay?
Is there any other discussion? Andrea?
I don't agree with any of this that's going on. However, the $3,000 that's left, instead of breaking it into threes, why don't you just give the balance of that to Jeremy, and then it will be more equitable, since he's getting the lowest increase of everybody.
Well, these are the motions that came out of committee, so if you want to do that, you'll have to vote down the motions and propose new ones.
Fine.
I'm making the motions.
But then again, one of the problems would be then you're taking away Harriet's merit raise. And why would you take away her merit raise? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That's not a merit raise. That's a raise she gets because she's working more hours. Everybody's getting a merit raise, and we're telling Harriet you don't deserve a merit raise. That's not fair. Because she's making a decent salary, she's been here 40-some-odd years.
So the $1,000 extra is the merit increase?
Yes.
Is there any other discussion on this motion? All right, then I'll call for a vote. Do we need a roll call vote?
Yes.
We need a roll call vote. Tom says we need a roll call vote.
Okay, so I'm going to read off names. Yes, no, or abstain.
This motion is the first motion on the separate sheet that I handed out. The motion is that the community board approve a change in title from part-time, 30 hours a week, to full-time, 35 hours per week, for community coordinator Harriet Lasky with a new full-time salary of $71,949. That's the motion.
Okay, so I am going to read the name. You're going to tell me what your yes, no, or abstain, and I'm going to read it back because I want it on the tape, because if I lose this piece of paper, then it's a problem. All right, Albert D'Angelo. Yes. Yes. Joanne Rubino. Yes. Sylvia Mazzella. Yes. David Levitt. Yes. Fernando Zagreta. Yes. Tasneem, go on. Joe Bacote. Yes. Edith Blitzer. Yes. Veronica Castro. Yes. Pat Charles. Rabbi Fuchs. Yes. Ken Gelnick. Yes. Debbie Kowalik. Yes. Do I really need a roll call if everyone votes yes? All right. John Musto. Yes. Diane Norris. Yes. Shrado. Yes. Keith Ramsey. Yes. Daisy Rodriguez. Yes. Ellie Rodriguez. Yes. Marnie Rodriguez. She left. Okay. Dom Shiano. Yes. Earl Selkridge. Yes. Andrew Siegel. Yes. Tony Signorelli. Yes. Lisa Soto. Yes. John Scuteri. Yes. Joe Thompson. That means definitely yes. Janice Walcott. No? Linda White. Yes. So motion carries. Oh, yes. You know why? Because we were told you weren't coming tonight. Sorry. Sal Conforto. So Sal's a yes, and obviously it's all yeses and one no. So motion carries. I will tally it up later.
Is that the community board award a $1,500 merit increase for community coordinator Harriet Lasky. Is there any discussion on that motion? Yes. Sal.
Sal, question. Mike? Mike?
Let's make this.
Microphone.
Let's not waste time and do a roll call vote on this one.
The borough president's office has asked that we do a roll call vote.
Okay.
So if there's no other discussion, we'll call a vote. Linda.
I just want to say one thing. Say, for instance, Harriet was making $4 at working part-time. Now she's going to go full-time, double the hours. She's going to make $8. That's what this first motion was, all right? It has nothing to do with a merit increase. Because some people seem to be a little questionable as to why and what for. That's why I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
If there's no other discussion, Jeremy, can you do the roll call?
Al D'Angelo. Yes. Joan Rubino. Yes. Sylvia Mazzella. Yes. David Levitt.
Yes.
Yes. Fernando Zagreta. Yes. Joe Bacote. Yes. Edith Blitzer. Yes. Oops, sorry. Jumping the gun. Yes. Veronica Castro.
Yes.
Yes. Rabbi Fuchs. Yes for Rabbi Fuchs. Ken Galnick.
Yes.
Yes. Debbie Kowalik.
Yes.
Yes. John Musto. Yes. Diane Norris. Yes. Shrado.
Yes.
Yes. Keith Ramsey. Yes. Daisy Rodriguez. Yes. Ellie Rodriguez.
Yes.
Dom Shiano.
Yes.
Yes. So yeses so far. Earl Selkridge. Andrew Siegel. Tony Signorelli. Lisa Soto. You're last. John Scuteri. Joe Thompson. So all yeses thus far. Janice Walcott. No. Linda White.
Yes.
Yes. Sal Conforto. So all yeses and one no again. Okay.
Okay. The next motion is that the community board approve and change in title from community associate to community coordinator for Chris Kirka with a new full-time salary of $61,403. His new responsibilities will include support for the Pelham Parkway reconstruction project and to learn about the new payment system used in the office. Any discussion on this motion?
Lisa Soto.
Lisa.
Can you say again, I know you said this before, but can you just say again what his previous salary was?
Chris's current salary
current salary.
is approximately 53,500.
Okay. Thank you. And then also, I think just for the record, saying that it's a title change is just a little misleading. It's this is a promotion, essentially. He's going from one title to the next, so we should call it what it is. It's a promotion, which is fine.
I
I'm
think
just saying.
both mean the same thing, but I see your point.
Yeah.
A promotion would mean that you would have, in my mind, would mean that you'd have to hold one position before you could hold the next one, which is not true. There's different ways of looking at it, but I see your point, Lisa. There was Frano, there was somebody on that side of the room that wanted to be recognized. Is there any other discussion? Ellie?
It's a promotion.
Okay, Ellie Rodriguez, mic's on.
I asked earlier what the minimum was for that title change, and there was also some discussion about why Jeremy wasn't getting more of the pie. Did the committee consider starting this title change at the minimum, and then giving Jeremy the extra 1,500 or whatever that may be?
Yes, that's exactly what we did. And if you look at the minutes of the 2 meetings this month, you'll see that that's exactly what happened. That there was a motion for Chris to be promoted to the new title at the starting salary of $60,403, and then we had a second meeting when to divide up the remainder of the money in the personnel services budget, and the committee decided to put forward a $1,000 increase in that starting salary.
Above the minimum.
Correct.
Okay.
Is there anybody else who wanted to be recognized? Yes.
Can I ask what was the reason for putting that extra $1,000 in there when he had already previously gotten a merit increase? And if we wanted to try to even it out slightly to give the rest to Jeremy?
Chris and Harriet, just so that everybody knows what happened, Chris and Harriet both came to the Employee Relations Committee and spoke on their own behalf. We met for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and they spoke very eloquently in their own defense and educated the committee as to their current duties, and we discussed new responsibilities, and that was what the committee recommended after hearing from them.
Okay. Thank you.
Joe.
Well, currently, Chris has a full-time job doing what he does. Now, he's going to still do what he does, but now you put the responsibility, by moving him up, of what John was doing. And what was John working for, 3 days a week? Yeah, please.
I should clarify, Joe, that Chris is not going to be responsible for the entire Pelham Parkway project. We discussed that at length at the committee. Jeremy is responsible for the Pelham Parkway project, and Chris will be assisting Jeremy.
Okay, well, that makes a little bit more sense since he's working full-time now, and I know that the Pelham Parkway project is time-consuming also, and is his current duties going to be less? No. There's only about 8 hours in a day.
Chris's current duties are not going to be less. They're going to be more. I don't understand the question.
In other words, if he's working full-time, doing what he's doing now, well, that doesn't leave any more time. Now, John was working 3 days a week, and at his salary, but that was fine. But now, how do you fit this new responsibility into this 8 hours that he does now?
The way that Janice.
Okay. When you get a promotion, and it's a promotion to another title, you get more responsibilities. He's gotten that, okay? He's gotten that. He's been working 8 hours at one position. He's moving up to another title, and he's getting more responsibilities. But what? I can't hear you, Joe. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. But he still has to do what he's been doing. And if that was an 8-hour job, then how can he fit the new responsibilities into those 8 hours?
Turn my mic back on.
It's on.
Okay, you don't leave one title, get a raise, and do the same thing you did at the other title. You're gonna have to manage your time and the work you have to do. Period.
But
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Joe,
I'm listening. I'm listening
If,
because
Joe, if a policeman gets a promotion to sergeant, he's still working 8 hours, but he's doing more work. So,
he's not still doing the same job.
but he's not doing the same job either. He's doing more.
No, Chris is doing the same job, but he's doing more.
Right.
So he's not just doing the same job he does for 8 hours. Now you want him to do another couple of hours worth of work. Now how do you fit that into 8 hours? If he's doing 8 hours of work
He
now,
works harder during those 8 hours.
works harder doing. He's supposed to be working harder during those 8 hours.
Oral?
And you also have the fact that Harriet is now working an extra 5 hours a week, or 5 hours a week. Is that what it is?
So
So
he would transfer some of that work
She
to
can
her.
offset some of the. That's what I would think. I mean,
That's what I would assume then.
Oral?
Joe, I'm sorry, man. I love you, man, but I'm telling you right now, I'm an architect, right? So I got promoted to another position. I kept the same projects I was working on. They gave me more projects and more people to manage. I had to do it. I mean, Joe, that's life, man. Yes, I was. I went from 10 projects to 20 projects. I went from 5 people to 15 people.
So you were overpaid for those 8 hours you were doing previously. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Okay,
I went
okay.
from Joe,
I think we're going to close discussion on this motion. Let's call the vote.
Okay. So this is for Chris's title change to community coordinator to Harriet's title. Albert D'Angelo. Yes. Joanne Rubino. Yes. Sylvia Mazzella. Yes. David Levitt. Fernando Zagreta. Joe Bacot. Edith Blitzer. Veronica Castro. Yes. Rabbi Fuchs. Ken Gelnick. Deborah Kolick. John Musto. Diane Norris. Okay, maybe she'll come back. Strado. Keith Ramsey. Daisy Rodriguez. Ellie Rodriguez. Dom Shiano. Oral Selkridge. Andrew Siegel. Tony Signorelli. Lisa Soto. John Scuteri. Joe Thompson. Janice Walcott. Linda White. So it's Sal Conforto. So it's unanimous. All yeses. Sorry.
Is that the Community Board award District Manager Jeremy Warnicki a 6.2 merit increase of $5,239 to his current $84,514 salary, making his new salary $89,753. Any discussion on this motion?
Okay, so roll call vote. Albert D'Angelo. Yes. Joanne Urbino. Yes. Sylvia Mazzella. David Levitt.
Yes.
Fernando Zagreta. Joe Bacot. Yes. Edith Blitzer. Veronica Castro. Rabbi Fuchs. Yes. Ken Gelnick. Yes. Deborah Kolick. Yes. John Musto. Yes. Diane Norris.
Say yes, Diane.
A merit increase. No, he's saying what it's about. Strado. Keith Ramsey. Daisy Rodriguez. Ellie Rodriguez. Dom Shiano. Earl Selkridge. Andrew Siegel. Signorelli. Lisa Soto. John Scuteri. Joe Thompson. Janice Walcott. Linda White. Sal Conforto. So motion carries.
Okay, I just need two quick minutes. One, I want to thank Tom Lucania for his invaluable assistance during this process. Tom guided me through the city regulations, and he was always available and helpful. So thank you, Tom. And lastly, the Bylaws Committee, which I chair, will consider ways to make this an annual process so that we're not dealing with this every few years in a way that causes people to feel that it's unfair. So we'll be discussing ways to institutionalize evaluations, committees that review these decisions within budget allocations so that this comes up on a more regular basis. That concludes my report. Thank you very much.